Hey, what is up guys? Alex at Hypno Tech. How you doing? Pardon the mess, I was actually in the middle of a review, but I got a notification that my Nexus 5X had finished updating to Android 7.0 Nougat. So I finally got the notification. This video, I waited a little longer to do it. I didn't do it the day it was released with everybody else, like all the other reviewers you saw. I wanted to see when I would naturally get the OTA instead of flashing it the day everybody else got it, in the, on the very first day. And I'm happy to report it only took me 2 days to get the OTA on my phone. So very exciting, very, very exciting. I got it here. Let's take a quick look at basically all the major changes that you need to know. So the first thing you will notice here on Android 7.0 Nougat is your home menu is basically all the same. Google Now, everything is pretty normal. But the major difference is the drop down. If you just drop down your menu right here, look at that. Look at the quick settings and the notifications and stuff. We'll go over all the notifications after this, but I want to go through the settings really quickly because I think this is the biggest thing that you're going to be noticing, because everybody needs to go to the settings and the quick settings. So as you can see, instead of the whole drop down and pulling down twice for the drop down, we only have a bar on the top. It's very reminiscent of kind of like Samsung and LG, and TouchWiz usually has it vertically scrolling. What we do have here though is if you pull down again, we actually have what we're very accustomed to, which is this layout where we have Wi-Fi, LTE, battery. Actually, the battery used to be above, but they moved it down into the quick setting drop down. So that's pretty neat. But yeah, if you push it back up, it just condenses it into one row. I don't know how I feel about this yet, but it isn't too ugly. It isn't too bad looking, and you always can have the original look right here by pulling down. So we'll get into that in a second. But let's click on the settings, and we also have a different type of settings, a revamped settings here. If you can see right here, it says suggestions. You can add another email account. They're gonna I guess each user is different. They'll look at what you have on the phone, and they'll also add different suggestions for you. You can click on it, and you can remove it, or you can actually click on it to add or do whatever they suggested you to do. And if you look at the setup here, it's also a little different. It tells you what Wi-Fi I'm connected to, your Bluetooth. I don't know what's going on with the Bluetooth here because it says I'm disconnected, but my Bluetooth is on and my Pebble Time is still connected, and it does notify me. As you can see, Lita just texted me. So I'm not sure why it says disconnected, but we will figure that out off screen, off camera. And yeah, there's just a lot of revamp here. And if we scroll down and take a look at display, this is also pretty neat. There's a couple different things here that we didn't have before. If you look at the font size, take a look at that. They actually have like a sample text here that you can drag to make it bigger or smaller, and they have a sample here. That is really neat. I'm really impressed with how they presented this. Also with the display size, as you can see here, you can change to make it bigger or smaller, depending on how good your eyes are. So this is really great if you're an elderly person and you need something a little bigger, to read. And as you can see, okay, so this is great. Let's check this out. So Lita just texted me right here, right? So I can pull down the drop-down menu, and we can actually reply straight from the drop-down. Let's actually take a look at this. This is revamped. You see these cards? They're different from Android Marshmallow or Lollipop and all the previous Android versions we're accustomed to. These are more like flat notifications. And as you can see, you can swipe left to get rid of it. You can hold on, and you can block the notification, silence the notification. It gives you a lot more variation. And so let's actually just reply, see how this works. Okay, so cool. It just pulls a blue reply bar across. Let's type yes, thank you. We are recording on screen the Nougat update. And then press the reply button, and we have a reply, and it actually updates right away. So it's like a little chat on your drop down. That's really cool, really cool. So let's go back to the settings. Yeah, so the settings is pretty neat. A little bit of an update. This is kind of neat too. Check this out. If you swipe left, we have another bar. I guess Google's been doing this on a lot of their apps and a lot of their system software for a while now, but they finally added one onto your settings menu where you swipe out from the left, and the menu button, the entire group of menus, they're there. They just pop out. So that's pretty neat. That's really neat to have and very convenient. So, for example, if I am, let's say, checking on my battery, and I want to, instead of clicking the back button, all you have to do is just swipe left, and voila, we got the whole settings right here. You don't even need to go back. You don't have to go back to the settings. You just swipe out and you can continue on wherever you want. So I actually really like this. I really like the feel of this right now. You can also click on that. Okay, maybe not. So let us also check out the Easter egg. So this is a different Easter egg this year. So as you can see, we have Android 7.0. Once again, it's the whole tapping thing. So we have Android Nougat right here. Awesome stuff. If we click on it, you see there's no game. We actually get a nothing sign there, and then we see a cat here. So what this is apparently, if you swipe down and you go down to your drop-down settings, you click on Edit, you're gonna see it should be right here. It should be a little dish. I already got it. You're supposed to drag it into your menu here, which I did. And as you can see, I have a fish here in my bowl. It's an empty dish. You click on it, and I'll put a treat out. And eventually, I haven't seen this yet, but eventually a cat will come here. A cat emoji will reappear. So you're basically trying to attract a cat. So for you cat lovers, this Easter egg's for you. Yeah, so that's pretty neat. That's most of the settings stuff in the drop down, as you can see. Let us move on from that. Another thing that a lot of people might be using a lot, which I personally don't, is emojis. Google has released a lot of new emojis on this device with Android 7.0. So if you like emojis, you got 72 new emojis. Very interesting. Here's another feature that Android has been lacking, but other skins have added, and that is split screen. So let's take a look at split screen. So if we press the recent apps button, you can see very similar. We have this carousel that's retained from Android Lollipop and Marshmallow, but what you can do is you can hold it now. You can hold one of the bars, one of the cards, drag it up, and you can pick your second one. So let's do Reddit. App may not work with split screen. So it gives you a message and it may not work. I've noticed that some of the apps don't work, and they don't tell you they don't work. You have to actually drag it for them to notify you that it doesn't work. It seems like Reddit is fun is not working. So why? Oh, it is. Okay, it took a while for it to load. Okay, so we have a split screen mode right here. I have the options and Reddit going. That's pretty neat. We never had this before. If you see, we can rotate the screen, and voila, it also works there too. You can drag the center and pull it out all the way, making it full screen. And let's do that again. And let's use Google+. Let's just put Google+ here. Tap on Google+, and boom, we have split screen. Pretty neat, pretty neat. If you click on it again, you can, if you click on the recent apps button again, sorry, if you click on the recent app button, I'm still trying to get accustomed to this. If you click on the recent app button, you can actually change the app you're on. So there we go, we got this. But it is very similar to how LG and Samsung have it, that not every single app works here. So I know for sure Pokemon Go doesn't support split screen. See, it says app doesn't support split screen, and it just launches it. So that's something that I think Samsung does a little bit better than this natural one. On Samsung, they have a little on the bar of the recent apps. They actually say this app is not compatible, or they have the split screen icon there that lets you know that app is usable. So yeah, maybe they'll fix this, or not. There's nothing to fix, but maybe they'll add something there to notify you which app, instead of having to drag it and manually test out which one works. Also, while we're on the recent apps issue, or new things on the recent apps, if you click on the recent apps twice, it launches your most recent app and it rotates from the carousel the last 2 recent apps. So that's really neat. You don't always need to go back to your home page to select on something. You just double tap and it launches the last thing that you had on your last thing you used. So that's pretty neat. Moving on, we also have supposedly a more efficient battery. So I haven't tested this yet. I will post on Twitter. I did pull this out and put my cinema on it for the first time in a couple months. So I'm going to actually use this phone for a few days, maybe a week, with the whole new Android 7.0 Nougat update. And I'm going to test out to see if battery life is better, and if I can notice that there is a difference, because a lot of times they say it's better, but you don't really notice an everyday use difference. But we do have Doze on the go now, so hopefully that will help the battery life. I will update you guys when I test that out. And yeah, that's basically the most important Android 7.0 stuff that you need to know about. Those are really game changing. If you look at this is different. This is really different. It'll take some time for your eyes to get used to it. It doesn't feel like anything we've gotten prior, but it's pretty neat. I mean, I'm very excited that Android is evolving, and this is actually pretty clean. I'm actually pretty excited about the look of this. And the recent apps, the recent apps I will use that double tap to switch apps between apps. Like you can be playing Pokemon Go and someone texts you and you missed it for some reason. If you didn't drag it down, double tap to your most recent apps. If you're having a conversation with someone on Facebook Messenger and you're playing Pokemon Go, you just double tap back to the game, and then they respond, you double tap back, and you can type something back in. So that is really neat. I'm very excited for this, but we'll see how much I use it, because a lot of these features, when it comes out, it's really neat to have it, and you try it out for a week or so, and then you just never use it again because you're so accustomed to using something. So we'll see if this changes the way I use Android in general with these new features. But yeah, I think I covered. Did I? Let me just double check my notes. I'm pretty sure I covered every game-changing change or addition on Android 7.0. Yeah, I think so. So we'll end the video here. Once again, my name is Alex from SipNoTech. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, like the video, and comment. Let me know if you have your update yet on your Nexus. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.